I guess there are some more specific questions to ask, but just generally, like, what's your take on what the vibes are with this team right now in the morning of a winner-take-all Game 3?
Well, vibes are good. It's a group that, again, is normalized going and playing and competing and enjoys it and enjoys playing together and appreciates, bigger moments. So everybody's showing up and ready to go.
The fact that Darvish is on the mound, he's made the most starts in Padres postseason history. He had a great start in the winner-take-all game last year. How does that help that confidence?
Definitely nice to have a pillar like Darvish, on the mound for an elimination game. To your point, has done it multiple times. Last year, pitched exceptionally well in that moment. Last year going 6 innings, giving up 2, a couple of solo homers to the Hernandezes. Look, we got a lot of guys that we would be comfortable with, but definitely really comfortable and confident with Darvish.
Vinny, fourth row on the left.
What sort of presence has Darvish been for this team this season?
Yeah, listen, he's a guy that, first of all, he set a record for combined wins for Japanese and Major League Baseball. So that speaks to itself, the winning quality and traits that Darvish has. He's also he's a man of few words. He's kind of like the John Wayne, Japanese John Wayne, that he's just, big, strong presence and goes about his business, so his actions speak louder than his words. But when he does use his words, people listen for sure, including myself. So he's got a nice presence to him, and guys follow him.
A few more for Mike. We'll come back to AJ.
Mike, I don't know if you necessarily know yet, but what do you anticipate the availability being for your relievers, specifically Miller and Morejón today?
Not sure yet. We're going to take their temperature today. Both recovered well yesterday, but that was they've been throwing. They took down a chunk of the game yesterday really well, obviously, and we want to be smart about making sure we use them appropriately, but also clearly go win a baseball game today. So they'll play catch. They'll be honest with us. We'll talk to them, and we'll have a plan that will unfold later today.
It being all hands on deck, Nick Pivetta an option? I know he just pitched 2 days ago.
He's not throwing his side today, so yes, literally all hands are on deck, and we'll put him in the order we think is appropriate.
Go to Jay, straight back in the middle.
Hey, Mike, when it comes to judging which guys are available or not, especially like guys like Morejón, Miller, their inclination as players is always going to be, oh yeah, of course we're ready. Like, how do you as a manager, kind of figure that out when you've got all your guys are going to say, let's go, sort of thing, and make decisions, based on what's good for the team and what's good for them?
Yeah, no, it's a great question and a very fair one. To your point, you're right. They're all going to AJ's question about Pivetta, they're all coming in saying, I'm good, which of course you want. We also will have honest conversations about, okay, what is good? What is your internal physical feel of your limitations? And then we'll be the adults too. Part of my job is obviously to win a game, help the club win a game, and I'm also a good steward of people's careers. And we'll try to make them go together and live in one, but they may not. And so we'll have to make those decisions appropriately, and clearly let our medical team weigh in, which they already have, coupled with Ruben and Dave, our pitching coach, Ben Fitz, our bullpen coach. Once they play catch, we'll have a better idea of what that looks like.
Back to Jay.
If I could just follow up on that, how much easier is it now to make those determinations based on all of the biomechanics and data and all the stuff you have available to you that measures, strength and health compared to maybe even when you started, managing a baseball team and working in baseball?
It's helped with quite a bit, actually. And we've already gotten some really favorable reports from talking to Ruben today about both Morejón and Miller from Hawkeye about how they're moving, how their body's being efficient. So from that standpoint, we feel really good heading into today.
Jesse, no, you go. Anything else from Mike?
Like, I apologize if I missed this yesterday, but going to Iglesias there, I know you want to be flexible in that lefty lane to have that option.
Yep.
Just kind of speak to what went into that decision, the at-batting to him.
A couple things. Iglesias had numbers on Imanagua. felt like, you know, he's kind of been a little bit of the magic bullet in that lane. We hadn't felt like we needed to use it based on matchups. You know, again, to the question earlier about informed decisions from my seat, one of the things that I appreciate about the modern game is the technology that allows you to say, you know, this guy's ball flight versus this guy's swing. We have a chance to have a pretty good at bat. You know, it's not something we did know 10 years ago or 15 years ago. Guys, low ball hitters, sinker ball hitters, you know, all that, but a little more specificity to it. And then we, you know, looked up and realized, you know, hey, we had first and second. We had an opportunity with a guy that's had good swings. We have a lead. We know we're going to get a good bat from Iglesias, which we did, lined out. And then we put Bryce in there, and, you know, we got better defensively. So there's a lot of different decisions that went into that, and it's very fluid, as you know.
Any last ones?